to the Vertical Flux Experimental Theater. We have arrived at our destination for this Go Round the Sun episode. This mixture of reverberating vibrations will satisfy your musical taste buds. Did I say buds? Ooh, it's 4:20 wherever you are. It's 4:20 somewhere. Anyway, I'm drifting. Nice thought though. Sorry. My plan to conquer Planet X today is all about some more of these different platters and styles that may not completely fit the psychedelically mold I always try to promote, but a diverse and noteworthy experience that will quench your palate for musical knowledge. Dig me? So, onward up and inward we go. I have a flavor for these ravers called Bohemian Vendetta. Talk about your teenage angst. These cats reek of it. This band wears on me like an old pair of socks. There's holes in the toes, but they still keep me warm. The biggest reason I like these guys is because I played the same kind of thing when I started out. You know, you dig me? Everybody was on that boat. Everybody was just doing Gloria and, well, Gloria was the big one that everybody always did. And there must be a million zillion versions of that out there. And yeah, I mean, we even did Luai Luai in a psychedelic way. Got the dirty part all worked out. Anyway, let's partake of this psych morsel called Riddles and Fairy Tales. So pull up your socks and we shall congregate down by the river when we return. Gadzooks! Did that just flash across my brain in an animated suspension mode? Too much, man. This is the front of the cover. These cats are from the East Coast. They're from Long Island. 67, I would say. Well, I would say if I actually knew, but I'm pretty sure that that's where it's from. Anyway, these cats, well, wait, before I go any farther, there's the back. Okay, oh, so cool, yeah. There's this big long-winded poem that I think they were doing a little of the 420 when they wrote it. Anyway, these cats are cooking it on the big burner, baby. Acha! They also back some astronaut called Fane Jane. I found out more about him, and I will talk about that gentleman next time. I want to thank Enio for Fane Jane recommendation. Ooh, that man, he really knows so much. Thank you once again. Anyway, that's my co-pilot. So, anyway, they are also, this record, you know, oh man, this one cut, She Always Gives Me Pleasure, interesting title. But they do a really sludged down version of Satisfaction that is like, whoa. And you got to have a lot of attitude to listen to that one. Dig me? It's a good one here. I'd say check it out. It's got all the proper elements, you know. There's fuzz, there's keyboard, there's decent vocals, and it's full of teenage angst. Anyway, zooming into our line of sight next, ooh, I'm gonna like these guys, I hope you do too, is a band called Andwella's Dream. I'm digging these Lucky Charms, man. It's a three-piece band that is just full of soundscapes, and I mean, it's really cool. It's really a good album. They're coming out of Northern Ireland in '68 as The Method, and they later got their trip rescheduled to become The Andwella's Dream. Fronted by a guy named Dave Lewis, who played guitar and organ and piano and vocals, and I think he played the kitchen sink. Then there was another guy named Nigel Smith. He was on bass and he did vocals, and then Gordon Barton, and he was driving the drummers, the drum machine. Anyway, he was the drum machine. On this particular record, they added a guy by the name of Bob Downs on sax and flute, and it was a really nice touch. Kind of like Traffic, maybe, with the flute and the sax kind of thing. Maybe not. I don't know. That's my mind going in that direction. This LP is called Love and Poetry. So let's unpack our bags and order room service and hear a cut called The Day Grew Longer for Love. Okay, we will soon see you sooner rather than later. Yeah, that's how that works. I'd rather see you sooner than later. On the way back. I'm telling you, I'm digging that. Here's the cover. And it's kind of cool, you know, if you look at it long enough, which I have, actually it was a gaze more than it was just a look. But it reminds me of some of that cartooning from Yellow Submarine. Vaguely, more so than not, I don't know. The choice is up to you. Anyway, here's the front. The back, you know, nothing fancy back all the way around, but I dig it. It's on black vinyl. This is what is called an unofficial release. I got it from Bulgaria or somewhere. It's some weird thing. I didn't know I was even getting it from overseas until I got the bill for the shipping and was like, what? That ain't from this country. Anyway, my faux pas out of my wallet, but it was worth it. I dig it. Okay, so let me tell you about these guys. This thing works for yours truly, man. I'm really digging it. It's a nice slow start, and then a long-winded guitar solo with fine vocals. The whole LP, whoops, and the whole LP churns along at a steady vibe with flourishes that spark up the imagination. Indeed. Nice piece all around, I'd say. Good addition to your library. It's getting sort of proggy, but for 68, it's still a little bit early for that. So let's just say experimental. Oh, thumbs up here, babies. Thumbs up. I like it. I like it. Okay. And it's not, you can buy here in the States, it'd be a lot cheaper. Anyway, sailing out of the fogs next is something so left field, I mean, it will blow your cognitive mind into unassembled little pieces. This woman's name is Cilla Black. Her days of fame were 64, 67, although she kept recording till 69. In England, she was part of that Dusty Springfield, Lulu, Petula Clark, Twiggy. Then there was another young girl called Twink. If you can find her 45, it's crazier than heck, man. It's that Mersey thing. She was one of the most successful British female singers with 3 top hits that went #1. Okay, so let's do a swinging London thing from the LP Cheroux, and the tune is called Step Inside Love. And guess what? This is a Lennon-McCartney tune, no less. Cool? I mean, those guys were writing so much and just giving so much away. So, let's sit back, relax, have a Venusian martini, and we shall converse the outcome when we reappear.
Step inside love, let me find you a place where the cares of the day will be carried away by the smile on your face. We are together now and forever. Come my way, step inside love and stay. Step inside love, step inside love, step inside love to stay. You look tired, love. Let me turn down the light. Coming out of the cold, rest your head on my shoulder and love me tonight. I'll always be here if you should need me. Night and day, step inside love and stay. Step inside love, step inside love, step inside love to stay. When you leave me, say you'll see me again. For I know in my heart we will not depart, and I'll miss you till then. We'll be together now and forever. Come my way, step inside love and stay. Step inside love, do. Step inside love, do. Step inside love, do.
Now, wasn't that an off-the-wall cool interlude? Here's the record. This is English pressing on Parlophone. That's the back. That's not very dramatic. She also does What the World Needs Now, and that's so period piece time. That's cool. I mean, you know, it is what it is. I also picked her up on this, which is a comp, which I don't normally do comps, compilation, hits of the Mersey era. I think this was like late 70s, early 80s. and she does a couple of tunes on here, and she also does another Lennon-McCartney tune called Love of the Loved, and I know you've heard that one. That's that was actually recorded by them. Now listen, you know, you gotta come on now. Even I dial it down once in a while. So she was reflective of that early '60s Burt Bacharach crowd that was way swinging. You know, I mean, London was happening before the psych thing, big time, with lots of production values on these records. These block orchestrations and you know, the big band sound was in there, and they were coming out of the '50s with that, but then they sort of, I don't know, they sauntered on into that business of '64 with the Beatles and everything, and baby, look out. So I say you need some of this to break up your collection. You know, you dig it. You can't just get glommed onto one thing. You know, I know you might find that hard to believe coming from me, but truly, I have a very diverse collection. Although I am so psychedelic, I can't stand myself. Ow! Anyway, this is sort of a guilty pleasure kind of a record. Ooh, there's that band name again. I know they're not together, but gotta throw that in there. Anyway, change up is good to heal those brain cells. Okay? All right, heavies. Let's get it on and ingest a dose from the psychedelic dimension. I've got to do one thing though, so I'm going to jump off camera. You're not going to freak out. Your captain's not leaving the planet. He's just moving to get something happening on the disco end because that played out and it shut down and we got to have some bumper music. Okay, here. All right, straight out of the Psychedelic Space Lounge on repeat is Jefferson Airplane. No mystery here. I love these planetonic space travelers, man. So much my brain hurts, but in a good way. Ooh, you know how it is sometimes when it hurts, but it's in a good way. They play like the world depends on them, and it does. Dig it, man. This LP is live from June 1969 at the Family Dog out on the Great Highway in San Francisco. Yorma and Jack Cassidy were, you know, they were so hot live that they could melt iron ore from the planet Forbius. They got inspired by Cream, who played at at Winterland when Cream was, you know, this is like 60. I would say late 66, late 67, early 68, when Cream had morphed into this really expansive playing band that, because they had so many songs to play, but they didn't have enough to flesh out the whole evening. So they got into these long, really crazy jams, and that was what Cream was all about. And that's where Yorma and Jack were digging on it. And these two cookers went for the jugular. Total Dracula, baby! Hot tuna, here we come! This set was such a warm-up for Woodstock a few months later, man. Truly a band at its pinnacle, musically and lyrically. They are playing pieces that were going to appear on Volunteers, but it hadn't been recorded yet. But these songs are all fully conceived and realized. The minute you hear Grace, you know what wonderland you're in, baby. So let's hear this spasmatical creation called Greasy Heart, and you will be tested upon your return. Hey man, this is a gas, baby. A real gas, man. Plasma matter is spewing across the outer reaches of space at this very moment from this material. Here's the cover. It's a cool one. I've seen this promo picture before. It was actually on a book by the cat that did a lot of the liner notes for all the reissues of the airplane stuff on CD. Good guy though. He writes well. He used to write for Goldmine magazine. Anyway, I'm drifting. It's a double LP. There's a little sleeve in here that it's got some info on it, but it's generally just you know what's up. There's the back. It's pretty nondescript. Anyway, this is like I say, this is a double LP, and man, these guys, man, listening to this LP double is like a sonic lobotomy for the masses. You know, released in 2014 on the Keyhole Records label, and Keyhole did a couple other bands, and it's good. They do good stuff. This was a really good recording. What was that guy? You know, this is when I get into these brain locks, and I can't remember what the heck I was talking about. I was talking about that, and then there's it's a good album. Get it or be square, man. You know, you got to flesh out your airplane collection with stuff like this because it's out there and it's well worth it. I'd say total thumbs up on this. I mean, total thumbs up on this. Everybody in the band is shining on brightly. Very reasonable. I would say that you could afford it, unless you're living in the street. Hopefully you're not. Anyway, let's see. We want to get our freak flag flying now with a really out of sight band, and they're called Children of the Mushroom. Well, like I wouldn't buy that record. Woo-hoo! I'm so enlightened by that name of that band that I don't know how I'm going to be able to improve on anything that might be on this record to talk about it. I mean, these Zigzag Travelers present us with a totally mixed out concurrence that makes even a float into another dimension. It makes me float into another dimension. Well, maybe I should use a different analogy because I'm always in a different dimension, baby. Ha ha! Woo! These Jumpin' Jacks came from Thousand Oaks. That's a small town near LA in '67. They're all high school boys. And by '68, they released their only 45, and it was called August Mademoiselle. So let's run this one through the garden and see what the rabbit says on the way back. Choo-hoo! shut the window, throw out the bathwater, and call me Merle. Woo! I'm digging this. This is really a cool record. It's the front. You know, they didn't go in for a lot of stylization. They just put on their best duds and got out in the field and wrote their name in the dirt. Here's the back. There's a, this has got both the A and the B side of the 45, and there's a, to give you a hint as to, let me get it out of here if I can pull this thing out of here. Jeez Louise, they make it hard on you. They give you this really nice bit of information. This is the kind of stuff that needs to be in the records, man. This is, you can't get enough good stuff on the internet as far as info all the time, and this is it. They interviewed the drummer, and they talked about a lot of crazy stuff on here. It's really cool. It's really, really cool. Very reasonable. You know, here's the deal. This sonic artwork is giving me brain surgery, man. Heavy Vox organ, and there's shots of fuzz, poing, and a singer who resembles Doug Ingle. Can you say Iron Butterfly, boys and girls? This five-piece ruckus put out a Psych Garage undiscovered classic. This creation contains the 45, like I said, the A and B, and then to flesh out the rest of the vinyl, because they didn't record anything else that went mainstream, there's all these really cool studio outtakes. I mean, really cool. And they are worthy of a go-round, dig me? I feel like a Twinkie after listening to this LP, man. Get it, double thumbs up. I mean, really, this is one you want to get. If you're talking Psych, you're talking that teenage Psych, this is it. Well, let's see here. You know, you don't gotta throw a clock across the room to know that time flies. But before we go, a couple of things. First of all, do I got it? Do I have it? I don't know where it's at. Oh, there it is. Excuse me, Mr. Cameraman. Bumper music today. Snowflakes are dancing. I mean, this stuff is kind of twisted and I like it. It's early inspired electronics by a cat named Tomita. I think I might have had offered this up as a sampling on a previous episode, an earlier episode, or in a previous life. I don't know. Who knows where I've been. But this is good stuff. I wanted to show something else that I found when I was cleaning out. I'm going to come up to the camera so we can show you this. But your captain, way back when he was spending some more time on this planet than he does now, he had a record store. Dig that. Wilbur's Left Shoe. Woohoo! Can you dig it? I mean, it was happening, baby. It was way happening. And that's my real good friend Tom Quinn, and of course that's yours truly. And hey, you know, it was fun while it lasted. Had a lot of crazy people. Interesting time to say the least. Here's something that's going to be, I got to tell you, that we experienced last Friday or sometime a week ago. Anyway, I don't know when it was. It wasn't that long ago. It was in the last 7 days. Got to see Mr. Pee Wee Herman in San Francisco. He's running around the country right now talking about the 35th anniversary of his movie, Pee Wee's Big Adventure. And man, that guy is so cool. I mean, he didn't come out all gagged up like Pee Wee. Which wasn't a disappointment, I kind of figured, because I mean, that cat and I are pretty close in age. I mean, I'm older than him. Totally weird. But they showed the film, and the place went nuts. It was a total sellout. Everybody there was just all about it. They were reciting the dialogue from the film, and it was way cool. You know, you felt part of something. And of course, there was a lot of crazy looking people there. Anyway, what he did was, after the movie was over, he came out and he sat down and he had a heart-to-heart, hour-and-a-half talk with everybody. And what he did was he broke down the movie from scene to scene, and he told little stories that, you know, made it that much cooler. So we got an understanding of where he was at. He wrote the film with this other cat. I can't remember his name. He was from Saturday Night Live.
Phil Hartman.
Phil Hartman. Thank you. Thank you, Nancy. You know, the thing about Pee Wee is he appeals to the kid in me. How could you not? I am one. He didn't just... When I first saw him on the tube, I was getting TV waves bounced off of Saturn out there by the gates of Slobog, and we could pick it up, and I dug it. I mean, his Pee Wee's Playhouse was killer, man. That was so far out. You know, he's such a gentle character, and you know, his thing is don't take everything so seriously. You know, you just gotta love him from the videos, bouncing off of the walls the way he was, and just such a sweet little guy. I mean, anyway, you know, should check him out if you can. We did something that you have seen while we were doing our song interludes, is some new light show effects. Way back in the day, I mean, way back in the day, a buddy of mine and I put together a light show, and we did some bands, and it was called, our group was called Northern Light, and it was cool while it lasted. So hopefully you'll dig some of these new visuals we're throwing out there. You know, you just don't want to stay stagnant. We want to keep moving along, doing things up all the time. Let's see. Oh yes, be kind and rewind your mind. And remember, it's not hard to do the Pee Wee thing and be nice to people. You know, it ain't. It's so easy. You just got to try it, and you will dig it. I know it. Just remember, we are all the same, just beyond the epidermal. Epidermal. So, until we are fortunate enough to gather again on the shores of Orion, I am your captain, Rick Strange, and remember, we are truly all one.